So this is a part two of there is more to fuel. There's more to cars than just fuel economy. So, why choosing a car to buy if you don't know much? If you are into new, if you are just this is your first, you want to buy a car for the first time, or you've not gained much knowledge. You also check the weight of the car model you want to buy. That will also help you to make a choice on which of the model of the car you buy, depending on the engine in the vehicle. Because the weight of the car determines the engine that will serve the car better when it even comes to the fuel economy. I'll give you an example. 307cc, that's the convertible. It has a lot of weight. Most convertibles, coupe, they do have weight more than the saloon versions. So same applies to 307cc. So the weight is almost as high. In fact, let me put it has more weight than 406, right? I think it even has more weight than 406 V6. Yes, because I think 406 V6 is about 1,400, 450 kg or so for the V6 one, while the four-cylinder one is about 1,300 and something kg. So the 307cc with the smallest engine, petrol engine, that is the one with TU5 JP4 engine, that 1.6 liter engine with about 105 HP, and the torque. I think the car has the torque and the HP is not that much. So, but it is on the first 307 hatchback. It pulls the car well. But on the CC 307 with that engine has about 1,520 kg. Almost the same weight with 407, with I think 1.8 or 2.0 liter engine. Similar weight. So, how do you expect the 207cc with that TU5 JP4 engine to give you the fuel economy that will match that of the one with 2.0 liter engine? In practice, I'm not saying about theory now, because when it comes to theory, there are a lot of factors to be considered. If given the same a number of occupants and the vehicle systems are intact in terms of the engine management control, there's nothing wrong there. The 307cc with that 1.6 might consume, let's just say, 40, or the average about maybe let's put it like 45 miles per gallon, or you could say 7 liters per 100 kilometers. Let's just leave it at that, because most people don't understand this miles per gallon. Let's say 7 liters per 100 kilometers for that engine, given the factory distance. However, or given the same vehicle speed, let's assume 100 kilometers per hour. Now, for the 2.0 liter engine, it might take, let's just say, maybe 7.5 liters on highway. I'm talking about highway drive now. 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers per hour. So, on the expressway, maybe it might take the one of 2.0 liter engine how many seconds? You could say maybe 8 seconds to gain or to get up to that 100 kilometers per hour. But because of the huge weight of that vehicle, the one at 1.6, to gain up to that 100 kilometers per hour without draining the entire fuel in the tank, it means you have to wait I don't know, it might take 15 to 20 seconds for you to gain that speed. Okay, I know I'm exaggerating, but I'm saying you have to press it loose slowly. Don't push it hard. You have to let the engine keep struggling till you get to this thing. Unlike the other that we immediately. So in that case, you can't actually say you consume less. If you want to push it hard to get up to that particular 100 kilometers per hour, like the one of 2.0 will do, it will consume excessively. And yet, you see, you hear the engine shouting because the weight is so much for that engine. The load that is placed on that engine is too heavy for it to carry and give you the good fuel economy. And even the engine to last, because if you put too much weight and stretch the engine too much, it will kill it over time, or much quicker than just it will die rapidly. So in that case, I will advise when you are going for any model of a car, look at the weight of the car you want to buy, average weight. If the average weight is not that much, then any engine can actually serve. At least I'm talking about engine the manufacturer put. I always use 406 for example, because 406 has the weight is so good that all the engines they use in the car gives the car very good fuel economy. It's not low, it's not a light vehicle, but it has an average weight with engines that have enough torque and the per HP to be able to pull the weight good enough. I won't say effortlessly in all of them, but at least not to hamper the fuel economy the manufacturer claimed. But once you go beyond that, like the 307cc, wow, no, avoid that of 1.6 liter engine in the 207cc. Almost everyone I know that have owned that vehicle, they all complain about high fuel consumption and how sluggish the car was throughout their ownership, or the car, or their cars were throughout their ownership. They didn't know why. Some of them I had to now explain why they had that experience. Not because something was wrong with the vehicle or wrong with the engine. It's just that they make a wrong choice buying the wrong CC for what they needed it for. You can buy that type of car for your kids, children, your teenage boys, people don't really, maybe, of course, you wouldn't want them to start driving so crazily. So you need something that is a little bit underpowered, at least to keep them safe. If you leave them, you know how children can be. Can drive widely inexperienced, and if they don't kill themselves, they kill other people. So to avoid that, the best is look for a car that has so much weight, or even if it doesn't have much weight, but at least it's underpowered. So whatever they do, the car have to be crawling and will allow them to go wide. So that's the kind of car you could buy for them. Also, a time you could buy such cars. Or, most women, they don't really care about all those things. They just want, can this car move? I want to get to that point. It's men that usually look at, oh, no, I want it to move faster. So most women really don't care about all those things. If you are complaining to them, like, there's nothing wrong with the car, they don't care. But no, if you are a man, eventually, what's it called? What's this thing in men? You kick it one day. Or most time, not one day. You kick him and you try to exercise it, and you just dull yourself out, So in that case, I would suggest don't go you look for one that has average speed. For example, that 207cc, don't go below 2.0 liter engine. Same goes with 407. I always tell people, if you buy a 407 with 1.8 liter engine, you may not like the fuel consumption experience. Trust me. So the best thing you could do is work towards upgrading the engine to the 2.0 liter one. Better for you. Unless you don't care, as in you are that type that don't care about those things. But then you have to now know how to drive the vehicle so it doesn't consume excessive fuel. Because if you try that, you consume more than the bigger engine. If you try to push it that hard, Remember the weight. Remember 407, 307, especially that CC, they have a lot of weight. You know. So in that case, the smaller the engine, the more you avoid such when you're buying cars like that. So that's my point is, don't always look at how that is car engine is smaller means you consume less. You know, just look at what you have. Consider so many factors, a lot of factors. In this case, you might even have to explore or what's it called? Get a service of an expert to be able to explain all these things for you before you buy. Because it's not just about what people say online. People most times are dumb. They just read what other people say and repeat the same thing on social media, telling other people, oh, this is what you experience when you do that. Even when they lack that experience, they just read it somewhere or people told it. So everybody keep repeating the same thing. That's majority for you. So sometimes look for someone that actually understands these systems to be able to explain it better for you so that you can make your choice. Even if you choose to still go back for that one, then it makes sense. You know that yes, you are not expecting anything different when you own that vehicle. So if you are going for if you really want the one that will consume the least, that's your priority, nothing else, then you understand that the model of the car will have to matter as well. The model, the weight. If you really want 307, then the best one to go for will be either 307 hatchback, 307 saloon, or 307 station wagon. But for the CC on 1.6, don't make that mistake. Likewise, if I'm buying 407 with 1.8 liter engine, since that's the smallest there, I won't discourage you from buying. At least expect that the fuel consumption will not be as high or will not be as low as you expect. It's most likely going to consume more than the 2.0. Even though on paper it says it will consume less than 2.0, but in practically it will consume more. Once you start adding it low, remember, you no longer be the only person most time in the car. Some people may want to, because most of them come with stay wheels, so some people may want to put alloy wheels that have heavier load, that are heavier, adding more load to the smaller underpowered engine. Then some will even add fatter tires that also have more weight to the recommended slimmer ones or tinier ones. So the more load, or the type that always have load in your boot or stuff, the more load, or you're adding more gadgets, the more this thing you put on a smaller engine, the more load you're adding on the engine, the more the engine will struggle to pull the heavy load, the more the fuel consumption. So these are things to consider. So it's not just about because it's a smaller engine to consume the less in all in all factors or conditions. No, they will not. So if you are buying for 7 years with 1.8, fine. But eventually, if I were you, I will upgrade it, because I will only discourage you because it's something you can easily upgrade without doing. It's plug and play upload. It's not any kind of conversion that you start cutting and joining. No, it's plug and play. Yeah, you spend a little money, but it may not be little, but at least the car will look as if nothing actually happened. To still look like it's stock, but then it has gained more power. But there are some, for example, if it's 307 you upgrading from 1.6 to 2.0. I mean, it's as if you're buying another vehicle. You will spend almost the same amount of buying another vehicle because it's not going to plug and play. A lot of things have to go off the vehicle. Unlike the other one, you're not changing any wire, nothing. You just remove the engine, put another one. ECU, be breaking components, period. But the other one is like your entire vehicle, you are converting the entire vehicle to something else. So in that case, I'll tell you, if it's the CC, avoid, get 2.0. If it's 3 points, if it's hatchback, station wagon, yeah, their load is not that. They don't have much weight like the CC. So the 1.6 engine actually works well, as in the fuel economy there is very, very good. Very, very good. So, but not on CC. Likewise, other Peugeot models that I didn't mention. So, there are things you have to consider. My point is, don't always focus on what does paper says that consume the less or the least. It may not serve you. So, for economy shouldn't be the only thing that matters in owning a vehicle. Eventually, if it is a phase, you get it, yeah, the fuel gauge doesn't move. It's just a phase you pass through. Weeks, some kilometers down the line, you start realizing there are some other things in car you want to enjoy other than just fuel, that your fuel gauge doesn't drop that much. In that case, you start looking at other people's car as if you bought I won't say you bought a wrong vehicle, but you start wishing that I wish you had the other one. So all right, hope this makes sense. If I remember any other factor to consider, I'll do another part of this video.